Think way back, my dear, way back to the detoxification episode. This question came from the detox episode on YouTube. And Gino asks, could you explain why bile would saturate stools and turn them dark green? What is going on with this?
Ooh, usually if bile's not being absorbed, it changes the color of stools to green. If things are moving a little bit too quickly through the gut and the bile's not being reabsorbed, that would be my thought if it was green. Is that similar to what you would think, Nikki?
Yeah, I would think, either I would ask, does this person have diarrhea or loose stools as part of their clinical picture? I would kind of think they would. So just like the faster transit time
right.
could do that. There are microbes that gobble up bile. So maybe there's like a deficiency in one or more of those microbes potentially.
Yeah.
And also just like, does the person have gallstones or gallbladder sludge or any sort of like liver involvement? I would start thinking along that angle as well.
For
so
sure.
Like, is there an overproduction or like a dysregulated release of bile that's part of this picture?
Yeah.
Those would kind of be my top questions more than likely for that person.
And I would say too, I'd probably want to rule out that they weren't like eating a ton of green foods or something like that could potentially change the stool color as well. Like True. I think at least ruling out that you're not, eating tons of green smoothies or something like that could potentially turn the stool a little bit greener. That's what I'd want to rule out as well.
Yeah. I think the diarrhea, that piece of it, and trying to work on motility and transit speed and work on the hypothesized diarrhea would probably be my first angle. And if slowing down the diarrhea or aiding that did not help in and of itself, I would probably personally send this person out for a gallbladder ultrasound.
Yeah.
They're non-invasive, it's relatively cheap and easy to do, and it'll give you a peek and tell you if you have gallstones or gallbladder sludge. So that's probably how I would handle that. But yeah, it's basically the actual answer to your question is what you said, Amy. It's that there is more bile acids are making it to the colon than we would otherwise expect. Why that's happening is kind of up for grabs. But like I said, I would look to like liver or gallbladder dysfunction, fast transit time, maybe a dysbiosis of some sort. But yeah, there's too many bile acids making it to the colon intact that should not normally make it down to the colon. So that's why that happens. In the gut diversity episode, Kimberly asks, if you have to take an antibiotic after recovering from SIBO, what should you do to help diversify and rebuild? Ooh, I'm going to kick it to the dietitian in the house first, and then I'll weigh in afterward.
Yeah, I mean, I think that, I think you still want to make sure after you've cleared that you understand and are addressing root causal factors. So I think that that's a key thing to make sure that you're addressing or have addressed or are still working on. I think that, when it comes to rebuilding, I think everyone wants like a very systemic, like regimented reintro, but I think there's so much variability with how quickly people can rebuild and add things back in. But I think from a rebuilding standpoint, I really like, postbiotics, prebiotics, probiotics, like the 3 Ps, I think can be really beneficial. But I think in general, like to build long-term resilience and microbiome diversity, it all comes down to diet. To really, really rebuild that and build resilience up. And I think that that's the biggest lie in the SIBO space is that, like, for your gut to truly heal, you have to be limited. When in reality, if you want to build resilience in your gut, you have to eat as broad as possible in the context of your case. I mean, obviously, if you have celiac or, a dairy allergy or something like that, avoiding those makes sense. But eating as broad of diversity in plant fibers and things like that is what's going to really rebuild your gut and build resilience long term.
Yeah. And I agree. I think first and foremost, the diversity of your plant foods is going to be the number
Yeah.
one. And that can even include things like, you know, culinary herbs and spices. Like throw, you know, if you make fish, throw some dill on the fish. If you,
Right.
you know, make some like have pasta with pesto on it instead of tomato sauce every now and then. Like
Right.
kind of mix it up. But I think focusing on your dietary diversity would be the number one. Hey guys, if you like this video, be sure to subscribe, ring the bell, click the like button, and leave a comment down below with the videos that you would like to see me do next. Doing all of those really helps support the channel and support my efforts in making as many videos as possible for you guys. Thanks so much, and I'll see you in the next video.